Hi, it's Addie Broyles. I've been a fan of Hank Shaw's blog, Hunter, Angler, Gardener, Cook, for quite some time. And when I found out he was going to be coming through Austin on his very first book tour, I thought, wouldn't it be great to get him together with our own Hunter, Angler, Gardener, Cook, Jessie Griffiths, who runs the Die Dewey Supper Clubs. Both of these guys hardly ever shop at grocery stores. They eat from the land. And I initially pitched the idea of going squirrel hunting, but both of them said, no way, it's too hot. But Jessie said, why don't we go fishing? I have a great little spot, and I'd love to maybe fish for some panfish, which are small fish that are usually thrown back by anglers who are looking for catfish or bass. So we decided to meet at the river. Now, before we went on the trip, Jessie made me promise that I wouldn't tell anybody where his secret fishing spot was. But he gave us directions, and we showed up. It was about 7 o'clock, and they had all the tackle. And I'm not exactly the world's most trained fisher or hunter. In fact, I've never actually even shot a gun, which is why I was trying to get them to go squirrel hunting in the first place. But Jessie was kind enough to lend me one of his rods, and they didn't shy away from just stepping straight into the water. We started waiting, and both Jessie and Hank had their individual techniques for how they wanted to catch the fish, and we started walking up the river. We'd fish for a while in one spot, and then after we either caught as many fish as we'd wanted to from that area, we would maybe walk up the river and find another little hole to start fishing from. Jessie caught probably a dozen or so fish, and I caught more fish than I've ever caught in my life, but none of them were large enough to keep, so I ended up throwing most of mine back. A few nights later, they actually ended up serving the fish at a fancy dinner at Fino, which made me feel a little better about not getting to cook them creekside. Jessie teaches a lot of creekside fishing classes where he'll go fishing with students and then show them how to cook their catch right on the shore. It's one thing to learn about foraging, fishing, and hunting from a book, and Hank's new book is certainly a good introduction to all of those things. But it's another thing to learn firsthand, and I feel really lucky that I got to learn from two really great teachers. And Hank and Jessie's overall message is even bigger, that the food you eat should reflect where you live. And I found out firsthand on this trip that when you have a hand in catching it, it tastes even better.